I've got a question for you. You probably know that some Christians, specifically preachers, at times in the past, pounded things into people's minds that caused personal upset and life ruin, inspiring people, persuading people, sometimes even coercing people into developing low self esteem by continually pounding in the message, you are a sinner, you are a sinner, you are a sinner. You have always been a sinner, you'll never be anything but a sinner. You are a sinner. You should feel miserable about yourself. So here's my question. Current Christians, specifically preachers, do they have any responsibility for repairing the damage that was done to different individuals of the general population in the past? Are Christians responsible for what Christians do? Are preachers responsible for what preachers do? When a person is a member of a community, does that individual share responsibility for what other members of their community does to the larger community of the general population of the county they live in, the neighborhood they live in, the country they live in, the world they live in? Do members of a community share responsibility for what other members of the same community do to the larger community that they are part of? That's my question. And now, if you happen to be a Christian, if you identify yourself as a Christian, how do you feel about that? Do you know that there are preachers on the planet, preachers possibly in your very community, maybe even the church that you go to, that are deliberately putting messages into people's minds to cause them, or that cause them, to develop low self-esteem, low self-worth, and to feel miserable for simply existing as a human being? Is that a wrong thing to do, or is that the right thing to do? I would think that an all-powerful being capable of creating humanity, other life forms, the planet that we live on, the universe we live in, I would think that that entity would probably want those who go out professing things on its behalf would probably prefer the uplifting stuff. Uplift humans. You are worthy. You are capable. You have the right to pursue your goals. As a matter of fact, you have a duty to pursue the goals, because how did the person, the natural inclination of a human being is, by nature, as far as I could tell, logically looking at things, not decided by the individual. The individual, including you, including me, and everyone else currently living on the planet, we're all products that were created. We did not design ourselves. Now, we have the capacity, I believe, we have the capacity to reinvent ourselves. But our core nature, at our core nature, we are exactly what we were created to be. I doubt that we were created to be sinners, to believe we're bad, to believe we're not capable of doing great things, or that doing great things is a bad thing to do. But yet there are preachers out there, I don't know who at the moment is, but I know who did in the past affect me in a very negative way, using the Bible as a weapon. Now, whether he's doing it consciously or just simply following programming he received, I don't know. But at this stage in the game, I'm 66 years old. I was 10 years old when this particular thing occurred to me, happened to me rather. And the guy that was the preacher, I don't know, he was 30, 40, 50 years old. I don't know. I don't remember. I just remember he was short, fat, sweated a lot. He pounded the Bible a lot. He pounded on his pulpit or his pedestal, whatever you call it. He would pick it up and wham it down. He would hold it in his hand. He would hit it with his hand, and he would point his finger and he'd yell and scream and all kinds of crazy things, yelling out, "You are a sinner. You're going to hell. Why? Because you're born." I think that produced a very negative effect. I hope there are no preachers in the world doing that today. There might be. But regardless of whether there are or are not in modern times, if you look in society, have conversation with people, you will find a lot of people have pulled away from Christianity. Now, granted, there are still a lot of people in Christianity. Some people even gravitate toward Christianity. Other religions do. Now, my perception is all religions have something positive about them, and all religions have something negative about them. But the question that I'm really intending to ask here is got to do with responsibility and duty. Whose responsibility is it to undo or to make amends for the damage done by others in the community? Now you might say, well, it's Jesus. No, you were given free will. You can do as you choose. What are you going to do? You going to do something to help improve conditions in society? Are you going to help undo the damage that's been done to so many people? Look around. There are people struggling. There are people hurting that you are capable of helping. Help them in whatever way you can. But regarding the question, who is responsible for undoing the damage that has been done by others in your community? Are you responsible? Are you willing to accept a share of responsibility for what others did? Are you willing to make amends to society for things you did in the past that maybe you shouldn't have done? Things to think about, things to contemplate on, things to meditate about, and perhaps things to pray about. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Have a great life. And do as you choose. Because why? You were given free will. So either do something to help improve conditions on the planet and in your community, or don't. The choice is yours.